Hello viewers, welcome back to the lab, and my humble apologies that it has taken so long to make a video. This is going to be talking about why it's taken so long and how we're going to move forward. So yes, let's talk about the last 6 months basically. So hopefully you've seen the videos on my Quantel HAL and the Quantel Dylan that I was restoring back last year. So I made a fair bit of progress on that and got it to the point where the HAL and the Dylan went to Retrofest in Cambridge. It had some faults, but it was generally working. Now, since then, things have taken a turn for the worst. And it means this is now not really in a working state. And it's this huge thing which has caused me not to make videos. So the reasons for that are several. For one, it's a big machine and it's been here on my workbench for all that time. And it means I can't really work on much else. So it's been a massive problem. I don't want to just like abandon it and go and put it away into storage, because myself and others have invested time and money into trying to get this to work. Because the ultimate goal that I had for this machine was it would replace my Quantel Harriet, which is just down here, and it would become my machine, and then I would probably switch more into a making videos about how these machines made the effects and were used in the 90s rather than actually fixing them. I still want to make fixing videos, but I wanted to concentrate a little bit more on what they could do, how they did it, and getting other people on the HAL to see how it works and how they were used back in the 1990s. So I can't abandon it, and it means it's been sat here and I've been trying to work out what is wrong with it since then, and I have to say I've probably lost a bit of energy in terms of actually getting on and doing things, because it's been deeply frustrating, this machine. And there's been so many times when I go to work on it and then I can't, because there's a fault. And it's proven very, very difficult to find out where those faults are. I say faults because I'm pretty certain there's more than one. And they're intermittent as well. So it's proven to be a bit of an issue trying to get this working. But I'm here, I'm making a video, and I'm trying to get a plan in place to kickstart the project again and get things moving on it. So what is wrong with it? Well, I think there are 3 faults. There's a possibility that there isn't, and there's just one fault, or there could be 2, or they might interact with each other. But basically, these are the 3 faults. So the Zulu SCSI drives that I had in this machine, there was 20 of them, and there was a period when I first got this working for about 2 weeks. It worked absolutely fine. I remember leaving this recording, a camera just pointing outside, and just left it recording for an hour, and it worked absolutely perfectly. You know, gigabytes of data, all written perfectly. It would play it back perfectly. I could render animations, but then I started getting glitchy video, and that's where the video just got totally mixed up. And I figured, well, maybe it's one of the cards in the HAL that's gone faulty, swap it out for another one, because I do have spares. Unfortunately, those spares are also not proven to be working. So I'm just taking a gamble. I might replace one card that might be working, replace it with one of my spares, and that spare card might be faulty. So the problem is I've got no way to prove something is good or bad. So the glitchy video problem. So there's that one. The next issue is the Dylan. So on occasion I get disk resets. That's where the Dylan control board resets one of the disks because it's not responding. And at the moment I can't prove whether that is a fault with the Zulu SCSI drives or whether it's a fault on the actual machine. So again, that's another one where I just can't prove one way or the other what is faulty. The third issue is no video at all. So I'll just get a green screen when I try and play back video. And green is a significant colour when it comes to Quantel machines because it means no data at all. The reason it's green is because these work in YUV colour space. You have a luminance sample, a chroma, luma, and then another chroma. And if you take away all of that data and just have zeros, as in no data, that equates to green in YUV land. So there's a point where I get no video at all. But as I said, I don't know if that's related to any of the other issues. So those are the three faults. So one of the issues I have is I don't have a working HAL or access to one to plug my DL into another HAL to see if it works, because I don't have one. There's two HALs in Cologne, which I know are working, and there's potentially one in New York now as well, actually. But Cologne and New York are not local to Manchester, so that's a problem, logistics. So with all that in mind, the plan that I've come up with is I have removed all of the 20 Zulu SCSI drives out of my Dylan. They've been boxed up and they have been shipped off to Cologne. My friend Matthias, he is going to replace the discs in one of his Dylans, which we know works, with the Zulu SCSI drives, and we're going to see what happens. Now, I suspect they're going to work absolutely fine. And in a weird way, that's actually, I think, beneficial, because Matthias wants to replace the discs in his two Dylans with a solid state solution, because those two Dylans, between the two of them, that's 40 spinning SCSI discs that all have to be working to keep his HALs working. So I'm sure if anybody's messed around with old SCSI hard disks, you know that they don't last forever. So he's probably living on borrowed time when it comes to his SCSI discs. So he needs a solution potentially for the future. So it would be good to know that the Zulu SCSI drives just work. But if that's the case, it means the faults are in here, and then I have to go and find them. But if we try the Zulu SCSI drives in Matthias's Dylan, and we do see some of these issues, it means we can start looking at why that is. And the good thing is that we can potentially work out a software solution, a firmware thing to solve it, potentially. And that's also the case for Blue SCSI as well, actually. So we're not exclusively going to be using Zulu SCSI drives. We're hoping to use Blue SCSI as well. But as I said, because we need 20 discs in this, even to go off and buy 20 Blue SCSIs, that's not cheap. And to really prove that these work, that's a Zulu SCSI. To really prove these work, you need to replace all of the discs. So it's, yeah, difficult. Anyway, so the drives have gone off to Cologne. Matthias is going to be looking at this in a couple of weeks' time, and hopefully he can prove one way or the other that the Zulu SCSIs work, and that probably also means that Blue SCSIs should work as well. So once that's done, he can then send the drives back to me, and I can then start looking for an actual fault, and it'll probably be on the Dylan to start off with. So we'll see how we go on that. Now the other faults, I don't know at this point. Solving the disk resets problem on the Dylan, I think, is the easiest and primary thing we need to sort out, and then we can start looking at the other issues. So I think that's pretty much it. That's why I've not been making videos, because this has been here, lost a bit of drive to get it working, but now we're back on it, hopefully, and we can actually make a bit of progress, because it's really needed. I need to get this off the bench, because I've got other projects I want to look at. I've got a Quantel edit box that I'd like to look at, and currently there is no Quantel Henrys working. A Quantel Henry and edit box are pretty much the same thing. So if I can get my edit box working, that would be the first time we could actually see and use one. And that's really significant, I think, because the speed and the effects that the edit box and Henry can do are like another step up from the Quantel HAL. So I think it would make an interesting thing to look at. So you're probably going to have to join me in a couple of weeks' time when we get some kind of answer on the Zulu SCSI drives in a working Dylan. And we can move on from there, and hopefully we can make a bit of progress. So I just want to thank everyone who helps, suggests things, all the people on my Discord. There's more happens on my Discord than happens in the lab here. We've got people finding machines, restoring them, working on projects. There's all sorts of stuff going on. It's a really great resource. Just because I'm not making videos doesn't mean that I'm not tinkering around looking at other Quantel things. So thank you to all those people. Thank you for all the support, and hopefully I'll see you in a few weeks' time and I can give you a bit of an update. Right, I think I'll call it quits there. Thanks very much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.